aired just about an hour ago. You can go ahead and check it out on Paul's channel. That's youtube.com/Paul's Hardware, and it will be there. It's probably processing right now as we speak if you're watching us live. No, Hotline is not spewing coolant. How dare you make me look? I'm not going to fall for that again.
They've been doing that for months.
I know!
Every time we're here.
I'm a very gullible person.
Is it because we talked about me draining Arctic Panther?
I think that's what it is. It's just kind of like worked up some fears and deeply seated...
I can understand your concern.
Deeply seated anxieties in me about custom water cooling. But this is a fun show. We talk about tech. We talk about tech news. And some stuff we just dick around. We like to dick around, have a good time, have a beer or two or five. We've been drinking here and there, so if you guys are of legal drinking age, then hopefully you guys can share a drink with us.
Also, there might be cussing.
There might be some swearing, some adult language, some potty mouth instances. Both Paul and I have a tendency to occasionally, when we get riled up or are really passionate about a certain subject on the show, we can drop the F-bomb once in a while. And if you got kids in the room, you know, kill them.
But when you're talking about technology,
suffocate.
And when you're really, when you're really getting down to the core of it, you can't mince words. Can't.
That is true. We take things from a scientific approach here.
We're not here to put lipstick on a pig, right? We're not here to.
No, definitely not.
We're not here to polish.
We've never done
polish
that.
Your balls, your turd balls, right?
Nope.
Polish your balls on your own time.
We've never agreed to doing that for anyone. So that's definitely not what we're about here. If that's the impression you're getting so far, hopefully not. But we can...
This is your first time watching the show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We can dive into some just really quick plugs for each of our stores. We are selling stuff. So my store is bitwit.tech/store. And you can buy some of the new designs that I have out, which is the Crystal RGB. Let's light up some crystal. If you guys haven't seen the Crystal RGB video, go ahead and search it on YouTube or actually on my channel. You'll have to look up the greatest marketing pitch ever. I think that's what the title is of that video. If you search Crystal RGB,
it's a classic video.
Yeah, it's a classic, and then we've also got the Evolution shirt, which is also fun. And yeah, mugs, glasses. I just got my glasses in a couple weeks ago, so these are fun. And, yeah, everything should be in stock, more or less, except for the Evolution shirt.
All high-quality merch.
In a particular size.
If you want to check out my store, it's paulshardware.net. I also have stuff. It's all also very high-quality. Shirts, mugs, pint glasses, got my logo, and all that good things.
Yeah. And if you happen to buy something from either of our stores, you'll get a Johnson shout-out at the end of this half, which is always slightly interesting. And then you'll also get a small kickback if you buy something from both of our stores in the same order.
You get a tiny refund. Shipping refund. It will ship together in the same box.
Yeah, it's like $2 or $3 that you'll get.
It's also better for the environment.
It is, indeed.
So if you hate the environment,
then
don't buy from both of our stores.
Or make it 2 separate orders.
Or I'm trying to.
Oh.
If you hate the environment, then you won't buy from our stores. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yes, of course. But of course they all love the environment, and so they will buy from both of our stores.
Okay.
Strategery. All right, so let's go on to our first news story here, which is about AMD and their RX 500 series cards that have been postponed, allegedly, thanks to the rumors made by My Drivers. That's a website that you can visit online using the internet with a computer.
You got a Hassan story here.
Hassan
the infamous
Mujtaba. What is Hassan infamous for?
What?
Can we trust the rumors that he's rumored?
Well, I mean, you talked to Keith.
Yeah, Keith is legit. Hassan I've never met in person, so take that with a grain of salt. Anyone who's never talked to me is not credible. Unless they've gone through me, they could just be full of shit. So watch yourself.
I can see why people find our show so useful.
Tread softly, Hassan. Tread softly.
Alright, so
So this is about the 570, the RX 570, and the 580. These are based on the Polaris 10 GPU. If you guys are hoping for higher IPCs and things like that, a new architectural revamp, you're not going to find it with these cards. This is more of an improvement in terms of power consumption than anything. But still, some people are into that sort of thing. Low power graphics cards. There's a place for those, especially if they're going to be at very attractive competitive pricing, which these ones are. So we've got Really quick, I want to mention that some of these 500 series cards are also going to be Polaris 11 based in design. They're not all P10, so to speak. The RX 580, which is Polaris 10, it's going to be featuring a similar it's going to be sort of like a similar custom variant of the RX 480, and that it is a Polaris 10 GPU. It's going to feature 2,303 stream processors, 144 TMUs, and 32 ROPs.
I'm confused, Kyle. What are we talking about right now?
We're talking about the RX 500 series.
Which one?
The 580 right now.
580. Okay. I'm also confused
because there's a slide that says 480.
The slide says 480.
Yeah.
All right.
Typical WCCF tech.
Just trying to keep up.
So clock speed of the RX 580 is allegedly rumored to be 1340 megahertz. That's the boost clock. We don't know what the base clock is, but that's going to give us 6.17 teraflops of compute performance, 8 gigs of GDDR5 at 8 gigahertz along a 256-bit bus interface, giving us around 256 gigabytes per second of effective memory bandwidth.
It's Polaris 10 based, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is effectively a juiced and rebranded 480.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be priced, but what's interesting about that is that it's going to be priced, again, rumor speculation, for around $200 for the 8 gigabyte model, which is a little bit more than what the RX 480 is priced at for the same GDDR5 spec.
Normally, I don't find rebadged re-releases to be all that interesting or exciting, but if it's a significant price drop and potentially a performance increase at the same time,
it can be good for consumers.
If you're paying $200 for a faster 480 than you could have bought for 250, or faster 580 than you could have bought a 484 for $250,
right?
Then that's helpful.
Yeah.
So cool. All right.
So users are benefiting, I would think. We've also got the RX 580, which is a cut-down version of Polaris 10 with 2,048 cores, so slightly less than the RX 580. Similar to the RX 470 in that sense. It's got a clock speed of 1,244.
Wait, you said an 80 instead of a 70.
No, I said it's got less cores than the RX 580.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind.
So, yeah, it is the RX 570 we're talking about, which has a few fewer cores than the RX 580 at 2,048. Similar to the RX 470 in that sense, in the fact that it's cut down. It's got a clock speed of 1,244 megahertz. Again, that's the boost, which gives us about 5.10 teraflops of performance. We've got 8 gigs of GDDR5, which is nice, considering that the rumored price for this card is $150 US. The fact that you're getting 8 gigs, I think, for $150 is pretty sweet. Especially if you wanted to maybe take advantage of some some higher resolution gaming, 2560 by 1440, for example, if it's not super intensive, but still, requires quite a bit of VRAM. Then that's pretty nice. I don't think we've ever seen a graphics card that's that affordable, packing that much frame buffer.
Twitch chat said you're wrong.
Oh, I'm wrong.
They said you.
Did I say it was the 580?
You introduced the RX 570 as the RX 580.
I apologize. I have clearly had too much beer, and I'm gonna probably.
You're trying to make me feel like I've had too much beer.
But you have. We both have. That's the beauty of the show, is that we are treated as equal drunkards, and
right.
in all things belligerent. So.
I feel like there was a moment of tension and conflict there, and you really brought it back around to a feeling of unity and togetherness.
I've been told that my name means diplomatic. Kyle means diplomatic asshole. In like Celtic. It's like a Celtic version of diplomatic asshole. Yeah. I've always taken pride in that. You have the benefit of already having your half of the show done. See,
yeah, no, I'm sitting pretty here.
Yeah. See, we're just as smashed right now.
That's why I don't mind.
But it's way more noticeable for me because I have to do all the talking at this point.
Exactly.
So screw you.
That's why this show has such a great dynamic.
It does.
And every week, when you're coming to my house, I'm always torn because I'm oh, I don't have to drive to Kyle's house or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I'm but I have the second half. It's.
Yeah.
But it all balances out.
It is. It's very well balanced.
It's all about balance.
Yep. It's the perfect.
It works well.
Awesome hardware.
And that's why we defeated Tech Talk.
Too soon. Too soon.
What?
No, screw those guys. No, so they called you too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they called me first.
Fucker.
I was.
Yeah, they just want to get you over with, more or less.
Well,
yeah. Let's save the good stuff for last. We'll call Kyle afterwards.
I mean,
obviously.
I think it was classy. I think it was classy because I was one of the original. I think I was the original one of. See, I can't remember now.
One
if
of the
it's
original
Tech Talk-
hosts?
No, guest.
Guests, I mean.
I know I was the first ever guest on the WAN show.
Yeah.
Way, way, way long time ago. And I
Right.
might have been the first ever guest on Tech Talk as well. But I
Yeah.
also guest hosted a couple times, which which was fun. And Jay came and guest hosted.
Oh yeah.
Did that happen?
Yeah. Jay's
Okay,
been on the show
yeah,
with you
that,
before.
That did happen.
Yep.
I was like, wait, no, Steve did. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't
have
catch.
a very good memory.
I didn't catch the part of the last episode of Tech Talk where they called you, but I was reading some of the comments. Like people were just laughing at how differently you and I answered the phone.
Oh really?
How did you answer the phone? Because I didn't see it.
I don't remember.
Okay, but I think it was just like, "Hello, Jay." Like it was all just very like
hi.
typical, very nice, polite, proper Paul.
What did-
And I think mine was like, "Hey, fuckers." It's just like, "What's up, fuckers?"
Did you know what you were stepping into?
I did because I had caught part of their stream earlier, so I figured, oh, they're drunk dialing me right now. So I knew I had to face them,
So I had it on my phone and I kept walking away from it, so I was catching bits and pieces of it here and there, and I knew that they might hit me up.
Yeah.
Right as they called me was the immediate moment that Diana walked in the door.
Of course.
Coming home from work, so immediately the dogs were barking and freaking out, and then I was on the phone with them, and she had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I might have answered in a different fashion if it wasn't, because I don't know, right as she walks in, I pick up the phone and I don't know, it was weird, but it's alright, we got through it.
It's really funny because I answered the phone and then Heather heard me talking just like, ah, what's that? You're just talking or whatever. So she came in, she's like, who is that? And I was like, we're live. I'm doing this. I'm like, we're live. And she's like,
Streaming to thousands of people.
She's like, you're live. You're on a phone.
It's important.
Yeah. Bit of a
It's,
distraction.
and so we had the same situation. It's hard to communicate that,
it is.
while you're right in the moment
Yeah.
in that situation.
Got to hand it to all those live streamers out there.
Yep.
All right. We've gotten severely off topic.
Brief segue there.
Let's go ahead and bring it back to the RX 500 series here. Again, we were talking about the RX 570 is where we left off. And that's a cool card. It's got 8 gigs of GDDR5 for $150. This is all rumor, of course. Then we got the RX 560, which is a full Polaris 11 GPU. It's not cut down, but it is Polaris 11, which is slightly less powerful. It's got a clock speed of 1287 megahertz, 2.63 teraflops, 4 gigs of GDDR5, so that's going to be cut in half of what you would get with the RX 570, along a 128-bit bus interface. And that's expected to be sub $100 price point. So that's for the extreme budget gamers who maybe might be even limited to 720p resolutions while gaming, or just really low settings, very maybe indie games or something like that, or HTPC users and the like could potentially benefit from an RX 560.
MOBAs.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next story, though, which is the 1700X and the 1800X reporting higher temperatures with a 20-degree offset, which Paul has already sort of talked about in his half of the show.
Old news.
So we really don't have much to say here.
This is boring.
So
and
thank you,
everyone
Paul.
knows this already.
So just a quick recap. AMD has allegedly put some sort of offset of 20 degrees Celsius on their 1700X and 1800X CPU, so that for one, the software is monitoring those temperatures 20 degrees higher as designated by AMD. And the purpose for that is that AMD wanted to sort of force a fan rampage. They want the fans to ramp up.
Did you set up Super Chat?
No.
You didn't set up Super Chat.
I don't think so. How do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know if you can do it while you're live.
You can't do it while you're live?
I have no idea. I'm not sure.
That's one thing I forgot to do.
You can try it, but guys, if you're trying to donate, Kyle has not set up Super Chat yet. So,
I've never used Super Chat before. It's a brand new feature in YouTube. I've never worked with it.
Somewhere in your account settings or something like that.
Deep into the account, YouTube settings or something?
It was one of those...
View additional features?
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, I think it's down here. Super Chat. There you
Super
go.
Chat.
You're eligible.
I'm
You're
eligible.
Hit enable.
Enable.
Now you gotta fill in
Oh
the
my
information.
god,
You gotta
what is all
give
this
them
shit?
big old
All right,
terms and
why
conditions.
don't you refresh their
contract.
memory while I do this about the 20-degree offset thing?
Oh yeah, I can do that. All right. So basically, AMD has said that the 1800X and 1700X, two of the Ryzen CPUs that they have recently launched, not the 1700, which is the lowest end one, just the 1800X and 1700X report higher temperatures with a 20-degree offset. So if you're looking at the reported temperatures of those CPUs, it'll seem 20 degrees hotter than what you would see if you were just looking at an R7 1700. Their thermal sensor is replaced with a TCTRL or thermal control, TCTL, at the interface point between the CPU and the heat spreader, and senses what is called the junction temperature. So
is that where we get TJ Max from?
Yeah. So TJ Max is the number of degrees between what the CPU is at right now and the maximum temperature that the CPU will allow before it throttles or, worst case scenario, shuts itself down. So yeah, they have this interesting table that they did in their AMD Q&A sort of information post that they did earlier this week, where they show like here's kind of the chart, and if your actual TJ Max temperature is 38 degrees Celsius. And by the way, I'm not sure if this is the temperature that the CPU is actually at.
Right. It says example.
Like this is what irritates me. Can you just tell me what temperature the actual freaking core is running at?
Yeah.
Like, why this confusion? But whatever.
Right.
That's how they're doing it. So either 38 degrees until temperature junction max, or 38 degrees absolute temperature.
Right.
If you're looking at an 1800X or a 1700X, the temperature that will be reported by that temperature control thermal sensor
20 degrees higher.
is 20 degrees higher, so 58 degrees C instead of 38 degrees C. Now, I did an overclocking video where I overclocked 1800X, 1700X, and 1700, and everyone was who looked at my screenshots in the video was like, "Man, your 1700, no, your 1700 is running cool."
Right.
Because the reported temperature apparently is 20 degrees less.
Yeah.
Now, again, it's not totally clear like why they did this. The assumption is that they did this so that when you're using extended frequency XFR extended frequency range, this will make the 1800X and 1700X ramp up higher to a higher frequency potentially because it's reporting a higher temperature, which is making the fan spin faster.
How does that make the frequency increase if the fan spin faster?
So if the system is seeing like, oh, the temperature is
just to cool it down
58 C
more
or whatever, maybe that will hit the fan curve, and then the fan will run higher. So
it'll cool it down more, and XFR will be like, there's more
so
headroom.
the CPU would run cooler overall, and then maybe XFR would boost it up more.
Sure.
And maybe that's where the 1700X and 1800X are getting some of their sort of slight frequency gains that they can get over the 1700.
It's still a weird move on AMD's part to put out 20 degrees higher. Like, you would think that someone would be like, that's going to look really bad in reviews.
Yeah.
Like, we should not at least have it displaying 20 degrees hotter.
You're right. It would have been nice to know this information a little bit earlier.
Yeah. We're all finding this out 2 weeks after we
quite
review
a
the
few
chip.
reviews have gone out on these processors and whatever.
And
yeah.
It is what it is. And I guess
and like honestly, if you go back to FX series processors, their temperature readouts have always been a little bit wonky, like a little bit weird. Unless you run a thermal probe right up under the heat spreader or on top of the heat spreader and you're measuring temperatures yourself.
Yeah.
It's just a little strange.
But it seems like it's like assuming that the 20-degree delta here isn't in place, like the R7 1700 seems to be outputting relatively accurate monitoring for temperature. And I would think the only reason why, like, I was trying to wonder why AMD didn't do this for the 1700, why they only reserved this stupid modification for the higher end chips, is probably because it's got a lower TDP. Like, the 1700 probably just doesn't get nearly as hot as the other two, simply because it's got, a lower thermal design power or whatever. So maybe they just didn't feel the need to implement the 20-degree offset because they just knew that it was probably already able to hit, like XFR was able to take advantage of the lower thermals. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That could be. I mean, I'm sure they have reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's internal reasons that aren't, the public is not privy to. But anyway, there it is at least, and hopefully we'll see updates to a lot of the popular monitoring utilities soon, so that we can just use them. Like, I really like Hardware Monitor. I don't know. Like, I keep using it. I know it's not always referred to as like the best one that's out there. Certain other utilities, IDA64 always gets a lot, but IDA64 was very incorrect with all of its readouts for Ryzen right out of the gate at launch as well. So, I don't know. I like Hardware Monitor because it gives a ton of different readouts from a ton of different sensors across the entire system. It has easily viewable min-max columns, like current, min, and max, and it has a quick, easily accessible reset to 0 function, so you can set everything back to. You
don't have to reopen the application.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
like
I mean,
or something.
GPU-Z
it's annoying.
is really good for accessing a lot of the sensors and monitors that are integrated into a GPU.
Yeah.
But again, like the interface for it is like GPU-Z. If anyone from Tech Power Up is watching this, I doubt that's the case. Just put a clear min-max button on GPU-Z. Why?
So easy.
Why can't you do that?
I know.
I've never done anything more than just like complaining about it on a live show, though. I've never actually tried to email them or anything like that.
You should. Do we know anyone at
Tech Power Up? Put a clear min-max button on GPU-Z, please.
I agree.
Please. Because you close it, go back to the sensors thing, click every field twice to get back to view max. Oh, it's annoying. Anyway.
Bane of my existence.
Moving along.
By the way, I have enabled Super Chat, and it looks like donations are coming in.
Yay!
So anyone who donates, we will be reading your comments or concerns about our show at the end of this half.
Yeah, it's good to know. Good to know you can turn that on the fly.
Yeah, if it's not showing up for you, maybe just refresh the page or something, and it should work.
It's definitely working though, because the cash is pouring in.
Woo!
Pouring in big time.
Gotta take my clothes off. All right. Let's go ahead and before that happens.
If you get a red donation, that's right.
If you get a red, yeah. We're in the red. Let's move on to our next story, which is a discussion about Adored TV and Hardware Unboxed and these videos that they've output recently, and the whole tech press as a whole. The whole tech press as a whole. Beer is good. So Adored TV is a kind of up-and-coming YouTuber in the tech field, of course, and he basically released a video not too long ago called Ryzen, the Tech Press Loses the Plot. And it's a 20-long-minute video. It's very exhaustive, but he does a lot of commentary, obviously, and points out a lot of different research that's been going on over the last few years, actually. And he's essentially calling out traditional review sites, like an Antec or PC Perspective or like Tech Report, all these big guys who have been in the industry for years and years. He's calling them out and saying that they're testing Ryzen all wrong by benchmarking the chip at low resolutions in games. And as a reviewer myself, and I'm sure, Paul, you can also relate to this, like the reason why... No, he's not a reviewer at all. The reason why we do this, why we test at low resolutions, is to eliminate any GPU bottleneck. We want to make the game more CPU-bound than GPU-bound. That way we can actually expose any sort of weaknesses or slowdowns with the particular CPU we're testing. And in this video, Adored TV is citing a lot of data from the review site ComputerBase. That's actually like the main site that he uses for all of his benchmarks. He actually doesn't benchmark any of this stuff himself, but rather he's just pulling data from this other tech review site called ComputerBase. And he's basically showing that from their results, you can see the FX 8370 start to creep up on the 2500K.
That's for me.
That's for you, yeah. If you want it to be. I mean, there's other beers here too. If you want one of these beers, you can do that. It's the IPA. So if you want, you can take the DBA. Take the DBA. I'll kill the IPA.
Okay.
I know IPAs aren't your number one.
I don't mind
favorite.
IPA. I mean, I'll drink it, but
yeah. But the DBA is quite good.
it's a double barrel.
Double barrel. So anyway, Adored TV is basically saying this whole testing at lower resolutions when you're trying to isolate the CPU. It's all poppycock. And he did this by again showing computer-based benchmarks that were showing the FX 8370 slowly encroaching on the i5 2500K from Intel over the years, even as Computer Base was using a faster GPU with every test. So he was like, well, clearly there's no bottleneck here, or there's no bottleneck, and the resolution that they're testing at is fairly low. It's below 1080, and yet we're seeing over the course of 3 or 4 years, the 8370 past the 2500K, and I thought that was pretty strange. I thought it was interesting that he made a 20-minute video just about other people's data and not testing anything himself. But then we also saw a few days after that, about a week later, Hardware Unboxed, which is a very nice, reputable YouTube channel. I believe they have a website as well.
They're from Australia. They're
Aussies, and we love them. They released a video of their own where they tested everything themselves, 2500K versus the FX 8370. The same two chips that Adored TV was claiming were completely just, stacked a certain way in terms of performance, and Hardware Unboxed was like, no, look, like, we just tested everything right now. We spent the last 4 days testing this week, and the 2500K is edging out the FX 8370 in almost every single run. There was only like one title, I think it was like Mafia 3, that's just oddly optimized for AMD chips, where the 8370 pulled ahead. But everything else, 99% of the time, the 2500K beats it out by a sizable margin. And so it was basically just sort of retorting, or kind of like phrasing a rebuttal to Adored TV, saying like, this is the reason why we test, and it doesn't make sense to test with a GPU bottleneck. Simply because it shrouds and it kind of covers up any sort of slowness of a particular CPU. And I thought this was just kind of interesting how I've been seeing a lot of these comments in YouTube videos. Like, I've seen maybe 1 or 2 in your videos, your Ryzen videos. I've seen quite a handful in mine as well.
All my comments are very positive.
They're always positive. There's no hate on Paul videos ever. But I was seeing a lot of people saying, like, dude, Adored TV, watch the Adored TV video. Oh my god, you haven't seen the Adored TV video where he points out, like, all your testing methodology is incorrect. And I just wanted to kind of bring it to everyone's attention that, like, I don't know, Hardware Unboxed and all of us, we do a lot of this testing ourselves instead of just citing other websites. And this is what has worked for us over the last few years. You look at guys like PC Perspective, who have been doing this for, a couple decades or whatever, and they're all testing the same way. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands exactly, do your research. Don't just follow like one particular video that goes against the grain. I feel like there are a lot of reviewers out there that are very intelligent, and they do their testing themselves and stuff.
Does that mean Ryan Shrout's in his 40s?
I think he would be.
He's old. He's very old.
He's an old timer. He's a veteran.
Yep.
He's a tech vet for sure. You can tell because he's got that shell shock. He's got that little shake when you talk to him. He's
yeah.
Hey, Carol. No, he's actually nothing like that. He's very sprightly, full of youth. I just wanted to like get it out there that we test that way for a reason. I almost said Ryzen. It was weird, but because I don't know, it just makes the most sense. I don't know. Adored TV.
I've watched a fair amount of Adored TV's videos. His name is Jim. He does have a thick Irish accent, but once you get used to it, you can understand it pretty well. I think he likes AMD. I don't call him like an AMD fanboy, but I think he likes AMD, but he's also critical of them in certain situations. I like his videos. I'll put it that way. There are certain videos where he's referenced other people's benchmarks, but he's done his own as well. And one of the things I like just in glancing at these videos really quick was there was interaction between the guys from Hardware Unboxed and Adored TV in the comments. And
they're very cordial.
Yeah, it was very... Scottish! Is he really Scottish? Did I say Irish?
Scottish.
Yeah, I said Irish because you said Irish earlier.
We both thought he was Irish.
I'm terrible.
We're ignorant Americans.
Wow. I'm terrible. See, now we've exposed ourselves as...
Aren't they the same?
Oh, see,
really?
You're digging deeper.
Aren't they just the same?
You're digging deeper.
Like, aren't they like they come from the same?
My God.
They drink the same, like Guinness.
See, because when we talked about it earlier, I wasn't sure.
I hope you know I'm joking.
I was like, I'm just not gonna say. I'm just not gonna mention it. And then earlier, Kyle was like, oh, it's Irish, and I was like, oh, okay, it's Irish. So I'm blaming Kyle.
We'll just call him a pikey for safe.
A pikey
for safety.
He's like a gypsy.
Pikey.
The gyppos.
Gypsy scum.
All right.
No. Yes. But,
so Yeah. Jim, Jim. So hopefully Jim never watches this segment of our live show, because he's probably be pretty offended. Anyway, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
What? I don't know what I was getting at.
Yeah. I think the point here is that I personally favor when review sites do their own testing, when they're making really bold allegations like this. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like
I would say so.
It's easy to Google someone else's data and
There's
give them
lots.
shit for it.
There are lots of different ways to test. There are many different ways to test when it comes to what you're comparing any given product to, how you test it, whether you're focused on games or whether you're focused on compute performance or all that kind of stuff. There's lots of different ways to test. The way that I prefer testing is worst case scenario, which means like the way I'm going to buy products if I'm building a computer, which is usually overbuild. Make sure that whatever the hell happens, hopefully in the future, in the next 1-2 years, however many years this computer will be viable, anything I throw at it, it will be able to handle no problem. So that's why a lot of people who are looking at Ryzen performance and they're looking at a $330 to $500 range CPU, and they're saying, oh, the 1080 performance, not GTX 1080, but the 1920 by 1080 resolution performance is bad. People can come at that and they can say like, oh, well, you're not going to spend $500 on a GPU if you're buying an 1800X and then pair it with on a CPU if you're getting an 1800X and then pair it with like a crappy GPU that you're going to play 1080 at. Or you're not going to spend $500 on a CPU and then only have a crappy 1080 monitor that you're gaming with. But I think that's a little bit too narrow of a view, because you have 1080 really high refresh rate monitors. There's 144 hertz, 165 hertz, 1080 or 1440 monitors.
Yep.
And you might have people looking for really high frame rates even at lower resolutions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't think you can write off a narrow area of performance deficit in that way. You can say this is minimal. You can say this will affect only a few people, but you can't just say it doesn't matter.
Right.
I think that's what it comes down to, and that's why people who are maybe in some people's view harping on the lower resolution performance in gaming for Ryzen is because that's the main thing where it's not doing what people feel like it should. It's not performing at the same level as it does in everything else.
Right.
By comparison. So
just because Ryzen is performing similarly to Kaby Lake, for example, in let's say 80% of situations when you're gaming, doesn't mean you should ignore the other 20% and say at the end of the day, if you are testing them with just CPU performance involved and you're not looking at the overall experience but just which one is the faster clock for clock chip, like it's evident that Kaby Lake is still a bit faster in terms of IPC than Ryzen at this point in the game. And for reviewers to ignore that completely or just overlook it and not mention it seems irresponsible, I think. I think everyone should know, okay, well, just because the end result might be the same in these certain scenarios doesn't necessarily mean that, you can't look at the bigger picture with those individual parts. But it's challenging. It's challenging, but let's go ahead and we've got a lot more to talk about here.
We do.
Let's move on to our next story, which is about the Ryzen 3 chips.
I'm excited about these.
1200 and the 400 specs have been leaked. Ryzen 3, for those of you who are unaware, are the entry level, the more budget-oriented chips from AMD that are going to be competing probably more closely with the Intel Core i3 CPUs, as well as maybe some low-end i5s even. At their alleged price points. So this is a rumor that comes from Canard PC, so thank you guys over there. Both of the R3 SKUs that we're talking about today, the 1200 and the 1400, are going to be featuring a base clock no higher than 3.2 gigahertz with a boost of 3.4 gigahertz. The article didn't specify whether or not this boost clock would apply to all cores, if it was a multi-threaded, multi-core clock, or if it was just going to be on single core. We don't know just yet. But the 1200, the R3 1200, will be shipping without SMT. With obviously the 1400 will have SMT, which is nice. And for basically, like, from what I've gathered, some games right now perform better with SMT enabled, and some of them perform better with SMT disabled. So it's really just kind of just how the games are optimized and things like that. So if, I don't know, SMT may or may not be a big deal to you, for depending on the games that you're playing, and also how games just are optimized from here on out. I think they're going to start to be optimized way differently now that Ryzen's a thing. But we'll have to wait for a later date to really analyze that any further. So there's also Ryzen 5 chips that are on the horizon, pun intended, including the 1600X and the 1500X, which are launching Q2 of this year, though it's unclear when the R3 product stack is launching. Estimated pricing for R3, again, is expected to be competitive with Intel i3, so I would say anywhere, the sub $300 price point for sure. And I think I agree with you, Paul, that I'm excited to see these chips because, I don't know, like, it's nice building a high-end AMD system for once with a nice, high-performing AMD processor. But in recent years, like, the Core i3s, like the low-end CPUs from Intel, they've eventually been just like, they've been iterating them and iterating them and iterating them to the point where you, like, for a while, like, for the last few years, you could hardly even recommend an FX chip because you might as well just go with an i3. There've been, like, Anantech did a lot of, like, i3 testing, how it performs in gaming, and it's like, yeah, actually, like, the i3s are kicking ass these days. So it's come to that point now where you can no longer recommend the FX processors or, the low-end AMD stuff for budget gaming PCs, and now with Ryzen 3, you might be able to do that again. So it's basically the same thing we're seeing at the high-end market, but now with the more budget entry-level gamer. So that's really exciting.
I'd like to see how cheap they can get a 6-core. Like the Ryzen 5 1600X is supposed to be the 6-core 12-thread.
Yeah.
And then there's a 1500X, which is 4-core 8-thread. I wonder if there's going to be like a 1600 in there or something like that.
I don't know.
Because overclocking, they're all unlocked. You can overclock them all.
That's the other big benefit.
That's the other cool, exciting thing about the entire Ryzen stack, is being able to overclock any chip. So, like, I would definitely recommend a 1700 over an 1800X because save $170 and overclock it, and
same thing.
Probably get within 200 megahertz of what an 1800X will get, and you're golden.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
I concur. Let's move on to our second segment, which is hot and heavy hardware. We've got some nice stuff coming out lately, including the Phanteks Glacier GTX 1080 Ti water block. Phanteks has been really hitting it hard with the water cooling environment, the water cooling ecosystem. When we were at CES this year, they had their N through Elite that they were showing off, that ballin' $900 case, and was fully custom water cooled with all Phanteks hardware, which was pretty awesome. There was no EK, there was no bits power, it was all Phanteks. It's crazy. So this is their GTX 1080 Ti water block that is, of course, going to be on the 1080 Ti. Also compatible with the Titan X Pascal, since they are pretty much the same card, more or less. This is a full coverage block, so pretty much what you would get with a high-end EK water block. It's going to be covering not just the GPU die, but also the VRM, as well as the memory. So it's featuring, let's see, Viton, V-I-T-O-N. That stands for something because it's all caps, so it must stand for something. But it features Viton sealing, which not sealing like above you, but sealing like sealing it closed. From automotive and aerospace industries, which is supposed to make it more durable and friendly for space. It's going to make it more space friendly. You can water cool in space.
Is that like aircraft grade aluminum?
I think it's the same sort of marketing spiel that we've seen on a lot of other products, like the K95 Platinum, which is made with like aircraft grade materials, which is funny. Then you just need Steve from Gamers Nexus to come in and be like, all right, what was it? Just what caliber of material is being used here? I think he actually asked.
They said aircraft grade aluminum, and he said what grade of aircraft grade aluminum?
And they had no clue. Yeah. Leave to Steve to trip up the vendor with some hardball questions. But this is also going to be featuring RGB lighting, of course, and April 2017 launch. It's going to be offered in 2 different colors, including mirrored chrome and satin black.
Oh, nice.
I like
cool.
both of them. I think they both look great. Usually there's one or another, like EK, like we'll come out with one or another, like two options. And I'm like, oh, that one definitely looks better. Both of these look really nice.
Are you going to hit them up?
Pricing starts at $160 US. Yes, I actually am already in talks with them about some stuff, which I will not go into any more detail further.
Well then.
Ho, ho, ho. But we'll see. It could all fall to shit, and nothing will happen.
Probably will happen.
Yep. And then next topic here, next piece of hardware that we're taking a look at is a Blu-ray burner and Ultra HD Blu-ray player from the folks over at Pioneer. This is their BDR, also short for Brian.
What the hell's wrong with Chrome? Chrome is frozen.
Del Rizzo. 211 UBK. Because
hold on, I can't show anything. This Chrome is frozen.
It's the BDR 211 UBK.
Okay, it came back.
BDR is the initials of a very awesome guy who works at NVIDIA, Brian Del Rizzo. But the BDR 211 UBK is bundled with a bunch of software from Cyberlink. More on that in a bit. It's not the first Ultra HD Blu-ray optical drive out there on the market. There's others that have launched, over a year ago. Pioneer actually announced 2 others this January. But it is one of the few ways that you can actually watch or play back Ultra HD content straight from the disc to your PC, which is pretty cool. DRM, of course, plays a part here. We've got Play Ready 3.0 DRM.
Wait, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
This does do 4K Blu-rays?
It does.
Oh, cool.
Ultra HD 4K Blu-rays on your PC, which is great because, honestly, like 4K monitors have come down in price a little bit. There's a lot more people that have 4K monitors this year than they did in years prior. A lot of people might want to hop on that bandwagon. So Pioneer's offering a way to do this.
Honestly, physical media is still one of the best ways to get completely uncompressed,
high bit rate
content.
Absolutely.
And it's been difficult to do 4K Blu-rays for a while, unless you wanted to just get like an Xbox. Honestly, the big reason why I got the Xbox One was 4K Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Not that we've actually played any 4K Blu-rays on it so far. It doesn't matter.
No, of course not.
But for $130.
Yeah, $130. That's not bad, actually.
As long as the software keeps updated. Power DVD 14 UHD-BD.
Yeah, so all the software, it is bundled with a bunch of software that is all from the folks over at
Cyberlink.
Cyberlink.
Yeah.
So that includes Power DVD 14, which can play 4K UHD Blu-rays. Power to Go 8, Power Director 14 LE, Photo Director 5 LE, Instaburn 5, and Label Print 2.5. So probably mostly people are going to be using the Power DVD software to play back those discs.
You know what really irritated the crap out of me? It's my optical drive story.
What?
Alright, so I got a Blu-ray drive earlier on in the Blu-ray life cycle, and it came with software that allowed you to play the Blu-rays. I believe it was a Power DVD version.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But because it was like the whatever version, OEM came with the drive, it never updated. So it's just Power DVD version 7 or whatever it was.
Right.
So 2 years go by and I got a new Blu-ray.
Working.
I think it was the Harry Potter full set Blu-ray that my wife got or something like that.
Yeah.
Go to pop it in and play, and it's oh, this Blu-ray has DRM on it. And the version of Power DVD that you have isn't updated enough to verify that it's a real Blu-ray. All completely legit stuff. Completely legit Blu-ray, completely legit Blu-ray player, completely legit software.
That's effed
But
up.
even though it's still a freaking Blu-ray, because I don't have the updated version of the player, I couldn't actually play it.
That's so
play it
BS.
back.
That's total BS.
So
That should be a free update, man.
I solved that problem.
Did you?
I did.
Did you contact them, or did you
I solved that problem.
by getting a Xbox One?
The problem was solved.
Did you kill someone?
No.
Is that why you're being cryptic?
I solved the problem.
Did you murder the CEO of Power Cyber DVD?
Look, I don't want to get into all the gritty details.
Cyberlink?
But the problem was solved.
Cyberlink guy goes missing. Paul has blood on his hands.
I paid a certain amount for a Blu-ray player and the software that was capable of playing the Blu-rays, and I maintained, without paying any more money, the ability to play the Blu-rays that I had legitimately purchased.
That explains the body bag. No further questions, Your Honor.
Only had to kill 5 people.
All right. Well, I agree that trying to play Blu-rays back on a Windows PC can be a struggle.
Yeah.
In most cases. And I think Cyberlink has sort of monopolized the software to play that shit back. And there's a bunch of course, DRM loops that you have to jump through. I was a Cyberlink member at one point.
A member?
Not a member, but a user. I had paid for their service. And it worked, I think the same story. It worked for about a year or two. And then it just stopped working. And I never re-upped it because I was like,
when it's functional and you have the up-to-date version,
it works great.
It works fine.
It works fine, yeah.
I mean, decodes.
I just wish there were more options.
Yeah.
I wish there were more open source options for doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But money is money. All right, let's move on to our next topic here in Hot and Heavy Hardware, which is about the Kingston dataTraveler Ultimate GT USB 3.1 flash drive, available in 1 and 2 terabyte capacities. Damn! Would you pay $1,000 for a flash drive, Paul?
No. No, I would not.
Would you pay $1,600 for a 2 terabyte flash drive, Paul?
No, I would not.
What if it had a 5-year warranty?
I still would not.
Okay. Then this probably is not the drive for you.
This is the same design as the 32 gigabyte drives that we have from.
No, it's not. Scroll down.
Oh. Oh! Never mind.
It is from...
Oh, yeah.
It actually just rises 5 degrees Celsius.
You just got a little warm in here. Okay.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it is ridiculously huge.
No,
really?
The stream's not died.
No. Dead, right? What?
We're still streaming to both.
Brony, code red, and the... Refresh!
Everyone refresh. We're fine.
Refresh! Why? People are going crazy.
It's only Twitch, too.
Yeah, YouTube's totally fine.
Oh, no. No, YouTube is also complaining.
Really? Dude,
Yeah.
lagging.
I don't know.
Frozen.
It looks okay to me.
Refresh it.
Like, even the stream back that I'm watching on YouTube looks fine to me. So I don't know what's going on.
Do a test here. Wave my arms.
Do the arm waving test?
Arm waving test. Doot, 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 doot.
Yeah, look, I see myself. I just pointed. I pointed at myself, pointing at myself.
Yeah, there I am.
Moments ago.
No, you guys are tripping.
You guys
are crazy.
I don't know.
All 10,000 of you are crazy.
It must be the internet for the rest of the world except for us. Everything's working right here.
I think Cyberlink put a hit on us.
Probably.
Clearly.
Right, people say it's fine.
Anyway.
We're back.
Refresh. You'll deal with it. Get over it. About this drive. It sucks. Don't buy it.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to, right?
I love Kingston, but this is just way too expensive. $1,600 for the 2 terabyte version.
Jesus.
Actually, StorageReview.com tested this drive and said that the performance was a little bit lackluster.
Really?
Actually didn't follow through with like the write speeds at all. 200 megabytes per second write was the quoted advertised speed, but they were finding something very much like half that.
8456
less
here
than
with
half
this
that
speed test. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate.
All right, no one buy this.
No one buy it. All right, unless you're using my affiliate link. Let's go ahead and move on to the Zotac GTX 1080 Ti Amp Extreme, which is a beastly card. And this is new graphics were posted by videocards.com, of course reposted by WCCF Tech. This is an official announcement from the folks over at Zotac with a custom PCB of 16 with a 16 plus 2-phase power design. It features the Ice Storm cooling, as well as a metallic exo armor shroud with LEDs, which I would imagine are RGB. And this is a 3-slot card. It is a frickin' behemoth with a triple fan design. We've already talked about on Paul's half of the show how important and how awesome triple fan cards are. It's also got a fatty aluminum fin array with 5 copper heat pipes, and the sides feature an acrylic frame that light up when powered. This thing
this looks like
insane.
A 3+. This looks like almost more than 3 slots.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely need like at least a decent sized mid tower to fit this card. It just extends out from the PCI slot, the expansion slot.
Is the Zotac logo here RGB?
I would hope so.
Should be.
It definitely should be. Let me take a look at that backplate again. Okay, at least the rest of the backplate is more so color neutral.
They got rid of the yellow racing stripe.
Yeah, the yellow racing stripe was killing it.
Yeah.
It was killing it for me. So I would imagine that it's because Zotac has their own RGB software, so I would imagine that that's RGB as well.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. Spectra.
They should call
Spectra, right?
it RGBZ.
This is why you're not in marketing.
Because it's the easy RGB software. RGBZ.
This is why. That's actually kind of genius. You should be in marketing.
Someone hire me and pay me lots of money to do marketing.
Someone hire Paul. Contractor.
I'm great at it.
Face Off.
Face Off.
Face Off.
Where men become
Let's play
men.
Face Off.
Wait, we don't have... Where'd it go?
We're gonna play a game. Paul and I are going head to head.
Fixing it.
And... Jeez, I don't know what the... I don't even know how to have a punishment yet.
Face Off. Really?
Yeah.
The loser has to buy a burrito on their way home.
That's gonna be you, whether or not you win.
No.
You're buying a burrito either way. How is that even a punishment? It's like, ooh, I get... That's like a reward.
If you lose, then you have to buy my burrito.
So I guess just gotta give you some money for a burrito on your way home?
Pretty much.
But that's not like... Come on, the audience wants to see something like us, get smacked in the face, or we have to, like, tweet someone something awful.
Yeah, but the best ones of those come up with ideas that you come up with before the show. I'm just being honest here. You've had some good ideas.
That's true.
The on-the-fly punishment options are always hasty and not always fully thought out.
No, they aren't. So if you guys have any suggestions in the comments or in chat on what we should do as a
pound
punishment.
this IPA.
Oh, you can do that.
No,
you probably shouldn't. You probably should not, because you're a bitch. And let's see. Hold on. A whole habanero. Yeah, because I just keep a stash of habaneros in my fridge. Like, we could totally bust one of those out right now.
Heather has some on tap.
She does like her spiciness. No baby oil. Loser gets smacked by Heather. That's not even a punishment for me. That's just a Wednesday. Or a Tuesday, I guess. Let's see. Mission Burritos, baby oil. Call Linus. Drunk dial Linus. I think everyone just wants to live out their dreams that they did not fulfill during the last episode of Tech Talk. Because that was like all the chat was for like an hour. It was like, Drunk dial Linus! And
they never called Linus?
Jay never did. I don't think he did. No. I don't think Linus would even pick up. Like, it's just stupid guys.
You never know, Linus.
Stupid other tech guys.
He's always been a...
I'd never have them on one of my shows.
He's always been a sympathetic ear. You can call and just have a talk with for hours.
I've had many long talks with Linus.
Late at night when you're just not feeling like the world is going your way.
You just need some phone sex.
Someone to talk to.
Or that.
The graphic phone sex.
Indeed. Okay, so the loser will have to get shot in the face by my wife with a Nerf gun.
Okay.
Like 5 times.
5 times?
Yeah.
3 times.
3 times.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right, let's play some Tennis Legends.
You do have a Nerf gun, right?
I do have a Nerf gun, yes. It is right up there. Safe and sound. So that's what we're doing today. Let's go ahead. I have not even played this game, so I don't even know if it works. That being said, if it does, we'll have a fair shot at winning. Have we played this before?
I don't know.
I don't remember. 2-player.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there's anything as far as options like controls or anything like that. Just assume they're normal controls.
Wait, why? See, my thing isn't working.
I'm just clicking.
Oh wait, can you open the window down a little bit more, like make it more vertically visible? Okay, player 2, WASD.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm left, right, Z, smash, Z, and wait, what?
So you're gonna be player 1, Z, and.
How am I supposed to use this and Z and X? How the F am I supposed to do this?
I have just this and K and L. You just need to reach over here.
Wait, your W. Are we gonna play like hands like Z? Are you serious right now? This is like.
Can we reach?
This is like Twister.
No, we can't.
You can't remap them.
We can't remap.
Shit. Who? This is a troll. This is a total troll game.
Let's go back to full screen.
Developer has trolled us.
So They can kind of.
I can't even. How am I going to play tennis with your hand on mine?
It's
just a little creepy.
Just, you have to play it amidst distraction.
Okay. People are saying we've played it before, but like I don't remember this weird, awkward configuration.
Familiar. All right. Who do you want to be? Your player one.
I'll be. No, fuck her. Fuck her.
Serena.
I'll be Tom.
Tom.
Can't go wrong with the white guy. Liza, D Joker, Penny, Venus.
I want to be Venus or Serena.
Because you know they're good.
I'll be Serena.
Serena.
All right.
Serena Williams.
Serena never loses.
All right. So don't fondle my palms or anything.
I'm gonna try not to.
So smash is Z. Wait, X is
that
hit.
even working?
How do you serve? To click
Wait,
on this
what?
drawing?
What?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
What? There we go. Yeah, point, bitch. Oh! Wait, you faulted.
Alright. This is the best. This is...
Oh! Oh, I got it! I got it.
How did I become a snail just there for a second? That's kind of bullshit.
Shit. Oh, come on!
Yeah.
Double
there's
fault.
There's a snowflake up there. You gotta get the snowflake.
No. This is really bad.
There we go.
This is what happens when I don't...
Ace!
Screw you.
Oh, just... Damn it.
I don't even know what we're playing up
Ace!
to. What?
This is the greatest tennis game ever devised by anyone. Fault.
Oh! Oh! Fired back!
Bullshit!
The return!
That is bullshit.
The return!
You just won the set? That is such garbage.
Die, Tom!
That's garbage.
Yeah.
This is really a terrible game.
This is bad. This is really bad. Come on, come on. Oh, shit.
This is a very bad game. I wasn't even paying attention there. I was looking at chat. Oh, hey. What?
I think I'm winning.
Yeah, you're kicking my ass. What the fuck? I can't do anything. I can't even serve.
Try doing the I've been using. Okay, I won. Look at you crying. You're crying.
This is a stupid game. This is the
All right.
stupidest game.
That was really bad.
Yeah, it was
That was probably the worst face-off game we've ever played. All right, I'm gonna get my wife. I'm gonna shoot you in the face, Heather.
Okay.
Oh, she's cooking. She's cooking downstairs.
Oh,
So I'm
well.
gonna have to shoot you. It's okay.
So it'll be pretty standard. What?
All right, I'm gonna go a little further away. I don't want to hurt you. I mean, these aren't like, you know, the suction darts. These are like these are the real deal right here.
If you break my glasses, you have to pay for them.
Don't worry, I'll aim for your mouth. Alright, here we go. Ready? Oh, that was a blank.
Damn
Sorry.
Damn it! You're getting, I'm all...
Alright, here we go.
That's things.
Does it really?
Things.
Oh, good.
It's like, alright.
That wouldn't be a punishment if it didn't. Alright, here we go. Ready? I had to cock it first. I had to cock it first. It wasn't cocked.
Stop playing with me.
Alright, here we go.
That's...
Alright, you only got one more. You only have to
Alright,
stay in one more. Alright, here we go.
This is totally worth it.
Alright.
I love Face Off.
This is literally face off.
Haha!
That was your glasses.
Haha, my glasses deflected the
I
last one.
did that on
Just
purpose.
as I planned.
All right, beautiful.
And I get to watch myself.
You took it like a
getting
champ.
shot in the face.
Now that we're done acting like 12-year-old boys,
Yay!
we can I suppose do some quick Q&A. Why don't we start off with our
How about all those questions that were asked by people who paid money?
Yes, let's do the donations first. Automatic Matt for $5. Thank you very much, sir. Paul, when are you going to start?
Actually, these
are from your channel,
couple
from your half.
were actually from the end of my half.
So Paul, when are
yeah.
you going to start a paid channel? Also, wow. Also, have you guys seen the Zotac 1080 Ti Amp Extreme? We just did. Paul, paid channel.
Not
Your thoughts?
Not planning to start a paid channel anytime in the near future. I feel that giving you guys the content for free is the way to do it, and I'm not a greedy son of a bitch.
Wow. Wow.
No, Kyle has his honestly, I look at Kyle with the paid channel he has set up, and it seems like a significant amount of extra work to me. And
it is.
That's why.
It really is.
That's why I'm not interested right now, because...
It is. It doesn't seem like a lot, like, oh, just have another channel that you upload the same content to. But it actually is a mind trip. It is a total mind trip that you do not need.
That's a lot of money.
However, there were certain circumstances, such as the Amazon affiliate account that I was dropped from not too long ago, that you still have, by the way, that I have sort of had to respond differently than you in that sense. So, but a lot of the response from Bitwit Ultra has been fairly positive, considering that it's not like offering any exclusive content. You can still watch all the same shit on the main channel just a week later. So. You'd be amazed how many people don't understand that very simple concept. You're like, why do you have a paid channel? I'll never be able to watch this video. I'm like, dude, it's gonna be like, just wait a few days. It'll be there. It's like
I'm not amazed.
It's like the whole vessel thing. I don't know. It's like vessel all over again. No, you're very hard to impress.
I know people.
Indeed.
Next Brian C73, $20 donation.
Damn.
No comments.
No comment, really? If I left $20 donation on anyone, I would say something, even if it was just like.
You just wanted to drop that in there.
Even if it was just like
dropped it in the pot.
Blah.
Yep.
Okay. Also from Alex Bivan.
We're now into Kyle's half donations.
Now into my half. We get Alex Bivan for $5. Big fan for both of you. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate it.
We will.
$10 donation from Garrett Dustman.
Thanks, Garrett.
Fuck you, Kyle. Love you. That's actually what all my friends say to me too. So it seems very endearing from my point of view. Hey, Paul. Any plans to upgrade?
Depressive.
Any plans to upgrade to the GH5 later this year?
Not immediately. I've got my 2 GH4s, and they've been doing a pretty good job for me.
GH5 seems like a minimal upgrade from the GH4.
Yeah, so
if you were coming from something like I don't know, like a 70D or something, then maybe. But
what'll probably change my mind is if like I run into somebody at a show or something and they have one and they show it to me and they show me like 1 or 2 crucial features that I'm like, oh crap, that would be so awesome. But I haven't really seen that, at least in the initial reviews and stuff of it. Right. So yeah, I'm happy with my GH4s for now.
Indeed.
I can do 4K and all that good stuff.
I had GH4s too. I bought a second one, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Like last week.
Oh.
Yeah. It's mainly for like one video. I was like, could really use a second camera. It's nice.
It's super convenient having both of them.
Yeah. It's also nice. It's also nice for events, like, because I already like the one that we're filming with right now. It's got the rig and it's got the handle and like the H1 zoom on it. It's all geared up or whatever for a certain purpose. And like when I was going to Mammoth this week, I was like, I want to bring my DSLR, but like I would have had to like deconstruct all that and pack it up, as opposed to just like having a second camera. Just like it's already good to go. Just pop it in there and
it's very, very convenient.
It is.
I'm very happy with that.
And upping the quality of both of our channels as well. Yota Ninja for the $50 donation as well. Man, he's already donated $100 between both of us tonight.
You got the deep magenta purple background there.
Again,
lovely.
The only magenta fool in the crowd. Thank you very much, Ninja. Appreciate it, brother. Mr. Lover the. Okay.
Or the Mr. Lover.
Or the Mr. Lover.
Maybe just
$10. Thank you very much. Here's $10 for my ad block. I appreciate it, sir. Great show, guys. Congrats on 500K, Paul. Yes, very much. Congratulations.
Thank you,
to
sir. Thank you very much.
It's a nice milestone. You know, they don't.
It is. I like being able to say $500,000.
Yeah, $500,000.
I
mean, like $500,000.
Yes,
it's just not a big deal.
Yeah, just $500,000.
$500,000. I think YouTube should give out an award, like a plaque, like a a bronze plus plaque for like $500,000. I feel like it's such a long road from 100K to $1 million.
What's between silver and gold?
Gold-plated silver. Like, it's not a full gold play button, but it's a silver play button that they just spray painted gold.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
YouTube, send me one of those.
Yeah. I'll take one too.
Yeah, Kyle too.
Thank you very much, Jordan.
Jordan
Stump for the $10 donation. Here you go. Like the show, waiting on my RMA for the Crosshair 6 Hero so I can have my 1800X working again. Let down when it bricked. Ooh, that sucks. Also, some in chat were curious, can the RX 480 crossfire with an RX 580? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know right now.
Don't know.
If history is any indicator, because like you could crossfire a 290 and a 390, for example, then I would think
For the
yes.
rebrands?
If I had to guess right now, I would say yes.
Yeah.
But obviously the card's not out, so we can't tell you for sure.
Right.
But yeah, sorry to hear about your Crosshair 6 Hero.
Yeah.
I do like that board, but early boards, especially first run boards, especially a lot of the first ones that came out right for AM4.
Yeah.
They're just I feel like there was sort of an outsized number of reports of quirkiness and stuff like that happening with them, but honestly, initial runs of new products like that can be the case.
Right.
But hopefully Asus gets you a fresh new one back soon.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
they have new BIOSes for them now too that are also supposed to improve some performance and compatibility and all that good stuff.
Indeed. So thank you very much, Jordan, for the donation. We've also got one from Gundy Call for $25. Thank you very much, sir. Very generous of you. Can't decide if I want to go with a 1080 Ti SLI or just buy 2 eBay 1080s for cheap. Planning on running 1440 ultra wide and want 100 plus FPS. Can't seem to find any 1080 Ti SLI benchmarks though.
I know Tech of Tomorrow, Elric, just posted a video either today or late yesterday with like 25 different games benchmarked with 1080 Ti
SLI?
in SLI.
Wow.
So check that video out if you want to see some of their numbers.
Nice.
Scaling was it varied a lot. There were some games that had negative scaling, but there were more games that had positive scaling. A few games that had really good, like not quite double scaling like you get linear, but
Right.
you know, it varies from game to game. I would say, unless you're water cooling right out of the gate or whatever, like get a single 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
See how that does for you, and then maybe add a second.
Get the fastest single
Like,
GPU you
yeah.
can afford. For now.
Um,
You might be able to push 100 FPS on average for ultra wide because it's not nearly as demanding as
you
4K.
should. 1080 Ti can handle 4K pretty.
Well over 60.
I don't want to say
So-
easily, but it can do a pretty good job with 4K, and
Yeah.
3440 by 1440 is less pixels. So.
Yeah, and if you don't care too much, I mean, granted, you're not, you know, you're at a hyper 1080 resolution. You don't need to use anti-aliasing quite as much, and that's a huge frame rate killer. So if you can live with disabling some MSAA here and there, then you can definitely probably hit 100 FPS on average with a lot of AAA titles, I would say,
Epic.
at high to ultra settings.
Epic EP1KK from Twitch chat said that 14 out of 25 games scaled well, and I believe he's referring to Elric's testing.
That's a pretty good record. That's a pretty good.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Good luck with whatever you decide. We've got one from
KRM Entertainment.
Kerm Entertainment. Thank you very much for the donation. I put a GTX 1080 Ti in my butt, so now I can poop in 4K. I don't know. Something stinks about those results. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'd just probably dump those results down the toilet if it were me.
Poop. I'm trying. You've taken all the easy puns. I need to. Maybe if there was more tessellation of, I don't know. Trying to excrement.
I'm completely out too.
Yeah.
I've pretty much emptied my bowels of puns.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry. All right, Coda for the $10 donation. Hey,
Thank
Cal,
you.
here's some ad block money for you too, so you don't feel left out. I appreciate that, sir.
Cheers.
I really do. Thank you very much, Coda. Daniel Drews for the $15 donation. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Master of Disguise by Dana Carvey? Love you guys. Master of Disguise by Dana Carvey.
I don't think so.
Master of Disguise.
I'm familiar with Dana Carvey and some of his
Master
movies,
of
and I've heard of that movie for sure.
Master of Disguise.
When did that come out? 2002.
This guy, the turtle guy. That was like, okay, this is like the infamous like commercial where he like looks like a turtle.
Yeah.
Okay, and he just goes turtle, turtle.
I don't. It's 2002. That's a.
He's like the I like turtles guy, all grown up. I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
Maybe I will now.
You should watch it.
That was probably the most random question we've ever gotten.
Pretty random.
But no.
We love you too, Daniel.
Yes. Terminal 206 for the $10 donation. Asked my question in Paul's half. Just wanted to thank you guys for your input too. I also asked Jay, but he was just a little drunk at the time, so I guess it got overlooked. Love both of your channels. Asked my question in Paul's half. Which question is he talking about? Oh, whatever question he asked.
I don't know. They've been deleted.
Okay. Then Crispy Critter Gaming for $5. Congrats, Paul. 500K.
Yay! Thank you.
And to both of you for beating Tech Talk. Where's the trophy? Gold, silver, zebra stripe.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
idea.
That's fun.
Should pimp that. It'd be like a pimp trophy.
Yeah.
With the zebras.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of sad that Tech Talk's gone. I mean, I rarely ever watched it, but just knowing that it's no longer happening, I enjoyed like knowing that other people were watching.
I would catch it. I would catch it from time to time, like when I realized it was on, like, and I just pull it up and just have them talking or whatever. But I hope Jerry makes a new live show that Jerry hosts.
Yeah,
because I think that's what they were kind of leaning towards. And
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now, I mean,
cool.
with Tech Talk, Jay, I mean, it was hosted on Jay's channel, and Jay set everything up.
Right.
But Jay said he'd be down to do, start a new series or something like that. So we'll see what happens.
That'd be cool. All right, and then finally we've got a $5 donation from Mike Dudes with no comment.
Mike Dudes.
Bruh.
Brah.
Bruh. Thanks, bruh. So that is going to conclude it for my half of the show. Let's do some quick Johnson shoutouts if there are any, and there certainly are. We've got one from Josh Johnson. To you, Josh. Evolution shirt. Thank you very much, sir. We've also got one from Wade. BIOS Flasher shirt for Wade Johnson. To you, Garrett. BIOS Flasher shirt.
Garrett gets a double Johnson.
Garrett from Pennsylvania.
Wait,
That's PA, right? PA's Pennsylvania.
Wait, I have two Garretts.
Ooh, double Garrett. Double Garrett, double Johnson.
What?
Quad Johnson.
No, I think there's three Garretts. There's too many Garretts.
How is that possible?
I have a Garrett from Connecticut.
Oh, my Garrett was not from Connecticut.
Johnson to Garrett from Connecticut.
Mine was from Pennsylvania.
Got a shirt.
Nice.
Johnson to another Garrett.
Nice.
Also from Maryland. Another Garrett from Maryland.
Damn, son.
You've got the pub glass.
Damn, son.
So that's...
I got a Johnson from Joseph. Joseph Johnson for picking up an Evolution shirt. Maybe we'll find some other Garretts in here.
Johnson to Wilmer from Virginia for getting the thumbscrew shirt. Thank you.
Lovely. Johnson, shout out to Jacqueline. Jacqueline. For picking up a BIOS Flash shirt. That's a sexy name.
Yeah.
Jacqueline. Ho, must be France. Gerard. Not quite a Garrett, but Gerard P. from Minnesota. Yay. Picked up an overclocking mug and an Evolution shirt. Thank you very much, sir.
Johnson for Joseph from California.
Joseph
for getting the thumbscrew shirt. Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah. And then we got a Cherry C from England, actually. Hello from the UK for picking up an overclocking mug. Appreciate it, Cherry.
Also, Gerard from Michigan.
Hey, Gerard's Double Johnson.
Double Johnson for Gerard.
Yeah. Woo!
I also got the English pub glass. Thank you, Gerard.
Woo!
And
Emmanuel. Did you say Emmanuel?
I don't think so.
Okay, Emmanuel, BIOS Flasher shirt, Johnson to you, sir. Emmanuel from Texas.
But Jacqueline was also a double Johnson. Thank you, Jacqueline. And Joshua. Joshua from Wisconsin, thank you so much.
Wisconsin.
Grabbing the mug and the Standard Pulse Hardware white logo shirt.
Wisconsin.
All right, that's all I got.
All right, those are all the things that we have for this half of the show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Really quick.
Oh.
There were like 2 late donations.
Oh, okay, yes, of course.
Matt,
we would love to.
Matt A, $5 donation. This is for Paul hitting 500K. Kyle, slap him with the $5 bill.
Woo!
Yeah, okay.
My hand was $5.
Thank you, Matt.
All right.
Thank you, Matt, so much. And Brian C73 donated $20, potentially twice, but it has the same message. I don't know, but it's appearing twice.
I can only hope
that
it was twice. Thank you very
go,
much,
Kyle,
Brian.
You demand.
You demand, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
You demand. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love doing this every Tuesday. Hopefully you'll join us again next week at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Same bat time, same bat channel, and all that jazz. So have a good one, guys. Have a good night. We're going to get out of here and eat some dinner.
Yeah,
we're hungry.
Dinner's gonna be.
He's gonna get a burrito, or I think my wife might have also made some food if you're interested. But we're definitely going to be drinking more beer. At least I will. Will I game tonight? I don't know.
Sounds like a plan.
What do you think on the gaming thing?
I also don't know.
Okay.
Let me get food.
Yeah.
And then I'll
and then maybe
tweet.
Gaming.
I'll tweet about it.
Who knows? Because I might be too buzzed at this point to play games. Or no, I'm sorry, to work. I might be too buzzed to form sentences.
So if you can't work, then you would play games instead.
Indeed.
I see.
Yes.
All right.
So follow us on Twitter. We will be posting updates to that. But in the meantime, goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.